Well, I think Nicky is in a great period. He is winning on a row, so that's his rhythm at the moment. He's used to that. It gives him a good feeling and a good confidence. On the other hand, Myrtle is a great and dangerous fighter. I think if it comes to the edge, then Nicky Holske has, for me, the advantage. You know, if it goes over the 5 rounds. So my opinion is Myrtle needs to do his job in the beginning rounds. You know, and there he can be very dangerous because he has dangerous techniques, especially with his knees. That can be dangerous for Nicky Holske. And Nicky is more a guy who wants to come in the fight, so he gets better every round. And I think Myrtle Groeners is exactly the opposite. He's actually very good and dangerous in the beginning, but he goes a little bit down in the end. So where is the balance, and who is the first one to surprise the other one? I think it's an open fight. I think the first 3-4 rounds will be very exciting and spectacular. If it comes to the end, then I give my advantage to Nicky Holske, I think.
Too soon?
Yeah, it's a rematch. Too soon. We will see Friday. I think the thing is, in general, you can look at a fighter and you can have an opinion about a fighter. You can look at videos from a fighter. You can have an impression for a fighter. But as soon as you touch each other in the ring, you have an experience. You know how he fights. You know how hard his punches and his kicks are. That experience has Adegbuyi now. He lost the last fight, but he knows what he's facing. That's the same for Rico, of course. Everybody thinks he's the underdog, but I know that he's very hungry. He's very hungry to fight Rico. He did his job, you know. He won that contender. So it's not for me a simple rematch with the same 2 fighters. The fighters have another experience. So I think it's a new fight. Okay. The contender tournament, Moshe Mamrani, of course, from Amsterdam, so he's a big favorite over here, of course. We have a huge Morocco community in Amsterdam, so he will have a lot of fans, I think, in the venue. You will hear when Moshe comes in the ring, the venue will be crowded and loud, and you know, everybody enthusiastic. So he's the favorite fighter here to win that tournament, but he's fighting some other good fighters. Chi Bin Lin, they fought before. Chi Bin Lin is a very strong fighter. It's not that easy to win him in the first round. Moshe had some difficulties by his last title fight. You know, you saw that he was not what everybody estimated. He's gonna run over Varga, but it was not that easy. So it's not obvious that he's gonna win, but I think he will be very motivated, and there is that extra power from the crowd and the fans, of course, over here. If he wins, he will be in the final. And on the other side is Michael Jurek. It's a new guy coming out of Brazil. Now we know about the Brazilian fighters; they're very spiritual fighters, aggressive, and they are hungry. You know, they're coming from another situation. So I like the Brazilian style of fighting. He is facing Shane Oblonsky from America. I think Shane Oblonsky is, together with some other Americans, one of the guys who really performs well between all those not American fighters. It was actually a kind of common idea that American fighters are not that far yet, you know, so they are not strong enough to face the non-American guys who fighting already a long time in kickboxing. But we tested Shane Oblonsky a couple of times. I think I was very surprised by a performance in France, where he did a very good job against a French guy. It's a difficult fighter. It's not an easy fighter to fight because you have unorthodox moves, and it's a tall fighter. So it's not an easy job for the Brazilian. The Brazilian is hungry. He's powerful. He's explosive. He's a big fan of Ramon Dekker, so he tried to imitate his style. And let's see, you know, let's see. It's an open fight as well, and there's all to win for the Brazilian, and a lot to defend for Shane, because Shane is actually, he's the one who's represented the USA over here, so also something on his back. I saw the fight between Adam Chuk and Varga. It was a good fight, but I was not that happy with that fight. You can have that sometimes, you know. Sometimes this fight is exactly what you expect, and this fight was not what I expected. Varga was not completely in his element, you know. It was a little bit like there was no souplesse, and Adam Chuk was, of course, thinking about the title, to win that title, and but he was also not too open to fight. There was a lot of grabbing, clinching, and that's what I don't like to see too much, and what nobody likes to see too much. So it was a good fight, but I cannot immediately say that the winner of this fight is that level than the other guys who are now fighting in that contender tournament. I think all those guys are pretty close. So back to your question, I think the winner of this contender is a very good opponent for the new champion. Well, Errol had a bad injury. You know, it was not. He really had to recover. So it's his first fight after such a long period, and we need to see. We need to see how this is working between the years. I mean, it's not only a physical thing, but it's only a mental thing. I know he suffered a lot to come back from that surgery in the hospital. So it was a bad experience, the way he was injured. And that can sometimes be in the head of a fighter. Knowing the character of Errol, as soon as he's in the ring, it's one of the fighters who is there to fight, you know. He has the spirit to fight. Even if there is some danger for himself, he fights. That's why he's so interesting to look at. He's explosive, but he's always going for the knockout. Thomas van Este is a big dude. He has nothing to lose, only to perform well. We need actually new potential heavyweights in our division. So I'm happy that we have a guy like that. If he makes a good performance, if he wins, is even better. If he makes a good performance, we have a new heavyweight for our future. The future for Errol is this fight he should win. Of course, I consider that he's coming back out of an injury, but looking to the fight, you see Errol Zimmerman very experienced, the newcomer Thomas van Este. I think on paper Errol should win this fight. If he doesn't win this fight, it will affect him on the rankings. It will affect him in the future, in the close future. I don't know where he's ending up exactly. Maybe he still stays in the top 4 so he can be in the next contender. If he wins the fight, then it goes on. Then he has his confidence again, I hope. And he's an attractive, explosive, very experienced fighter. So all the future for him. If he wins this fight, he definitely will be in the new contender to fight and decide for a new challenger, for the new champion. Yeah, Karapet, Congolo, 2 different styles. Karapet, we have him back. The guy is a lawyer, so he had to do some work. So he was out of training for a long time, like almost a year. He was the former number 2. He go down on the ranking because he didn't fight. He couldn't award points. Congolo is a good, strong puncher, upcoming fighter. I was impressed from his performances so far by Glory. I think Karapet deserves to fight again because he's actually moved from the number 2 position to a lower position by not fighting. Let me see where he is now. I think Congolo is the more stronger fighter, the more puncher, the more explosive fighter, and Karapet is the more experienced fighter with a lot of techniques. So it's difficult to beat Karapet on points, on decision, and let's see if Congolo can knock him out. You know, and otherwise I think it's a fight that goes to Karapet. Yeah, Ilunga Murad Buziri. Murad was actually supposed to fight Michael Dutt. He got injured, and now Ilunga comes in. I think both fighters are very happy with this, and me as well. Why? Because I know that Murad is really hunting for that title fight, and Ilunga was not in the last contender, and he's also hungry for that title. So I think we have 2 guys who felt a little bit disappointing because of the past, that they were not selected to have that title or didn't get the opportunity to fight for that title. And now we have those 2 guys fighting together. So let's see, man. I think the winner of these guys is a serious contender for the future, depending on if we do first a contender tournament or if we immediately select a single guy or a single fight for the world title fight. But the winner of this fight will end up in a place on the ranking that he is a serious contender. So it's an important fight for both guys, and I know they are both hungry to fight the champion.
Nice.